For the past couple of months, the people around and in the town of Penasco have been very busy. Besides the goings about of their regular daily schedule, there has been an effort to refamiliarize themselves with their culture and where it has come from. Through a community coalition project between the Picuris Pueblo and the town of Penasco, there have been huge efforts to start and finish a project called Honoring Our Elders. A team of enthusiastic students, guided by dedicated adults, took on the task of interviewing 13 elders from different parts of our area. All of the students learned new ways of using technology, such as video cameras, sound system, and editing equipment. Through numerous efforts, the collaboration of all the interviews were composed on a single documentary about the elders of our area. From producing the video, not only did we learn about technology, we learned communication skills, and we all have a newfound respect for our culture and our elders.
Hay que matar todo chimo viejo. Ok, tapi homem ale chapa. Na kan que ma pita kana ne. Pa pa muta mechi. Pa muachi qui la mechi. Pa muta mechi. Muachi qui la mechi. Ci pohatta. Ja, taljem pui, kinauja pui, mana huime pa, sepa henepa, naappewa me, mana huuchi. Jantu, tahe, puhatta miakka, tahena soko, tahenia soka, Llano ope, I on mehu, Llano ope, kinauitsiahu, okoja, ja chichohu, heko on tautongu, la hera. Ana un coglione. Ok, ma più o meno. Fatta. Mamma te anci. Come? Tu a me? Come? No. Ma a me ci. E la hora me. Come ci ne pa. Come a me ci. Alta. E perché bine che tanuato, bine che tanapuccio. E come la come e a ci ciò faceva. Ok, ho tentato bine, a più o meno, alla bine, a pinna uico, ok, pitano, pa ti come, pa muta meci, ancora, come, ma tu hai meci, ma tu hai puccio, ma ci me la tu hai, ui, ne poi, come ma me, ne poi, come ma hucce me, ancora, me la puccio, adesso.
To continue and not be afraid or scared, but it was a sense of encouragement that, and he was glad that you were doing this, all of you. So with the blessings of the Great Spirit, he thanks you and he blessed you.
Padre nuestro que estás en los cielos, santificado
Our
sea
Father,
tu
who
nombre.
art in heaven,
Venga
hallowed
tu
be thy
reino,
name.
haga el Señor
Thy
su
kingdom
voluntad,
come, thy will
así
be
en la
done,
tierra como en
on
el
earth
cielo.
as it is in
El
heaven.
Padre nuestro de cada
Give us
día,
this
danos
day our
hoy,
daily
Señor.
bread, and
Perdónanos
forgive us our
nuestras deudas
trespasses,
como nosotros
as we
perdonamos
forgive those who
a nuestros
trespass
deudores.
against us.
No nos dejes
Lead
caer
us
en
not into
tentaciones,
temptation,
líbranos, guárdanos de todo mal. Amén. Dios te salve María, llena
Hail
eres de
Mary, full
gracia.
of grace,
El Señor
the
es
Lord is with
contigo,
thee.
bendita tú eres,
Blessed art
Señora,
thou amongst
entre
women,
todas las
and
mujeres,
blessed is the
y
fruit of
bendito
thy
sea el
womb,
fruto de tu
Jesus.
vientre, Jesús.
Holy Mary,
Santa
Mother of
María,
God,
Madre de
pray for us
Dios,
sinners,
ruega por
now and at
nosotros
the
los
hour of our
pecadores,
death. Amen.
ahora y en la hora de nuestra muerte. Amén.
Was church a big thing when you were growing up?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, every Sunday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every Sunday. My granddad was a preacher. It was every day with us kids.
She was a very religious woman. She's Catholic. She used to attend church here in Las Trampas. Ask her how was the church different from when it was back then? Did they have seats? And how was the church then?
¿Se puede acuerdar usted poco de la iglesia de aquí de Trampas? ¿Tenía bancos o cómo era dentro?
No, al principio no tenían bancos, era pura suelos, se sentaba gente.
Mucho sacrificio, yo creo, ¿verdad? ¿Y es verdad que tienen algunos difuntos enterrados abajo de la iglesia? ¿O?
Sí, dicen que se iban.
¿Usted no se acuerda de eso?
No. Ya quedó decía, ¿no? Enterrado. Fue que enterraban muchas veces.
Back then, the church didn't have no benches. They had to kneel or stand up. They had a lot of sacrifices. They went through a lot of sacrifices.
What advice would you give to the young people of today?
Si usted pudiera darles un mensaje a la plebe de hoy en día, ¿qué fuera?
¿Qué?
Y si usted pudiera darles como un mensaje, una plática a los niños de hoy, a la juventud de hoy, ¿qué fuera?
No sé, yo no sé, decirles nomás que sean buenos hijos con sus padres, obedecerlos, porque hacen costo para educarlos hoy en día, ¿ves? Es lo que hoy les digo a mis hijos y les aconsejo de todo lo mejor, que vivan bien, que no peleen con la gente, que no, pues, es lo que hay, aconsejar a la familia para que, y todavía hasta ahora no nos han metido nunca, parece que nos ayudó Dios, me veo que la mamá es muy penosa, ¿ves? No, y el papá también, pero pues, es lo que quiero mucho a mis hijos, a mis nietos, porque veo son los que miran de uno, otros no.
She would tell the youth of today to respect their parents because they put a lot of effort and cost into their education.
Eso es lo que tengo que darles, y no.
To give them good
El
advice.
dinero no es nada, se gasta, que no. Pero la salud, que diga mi grama me dijo, mi grama me aconsejó, miras a tu grama, ver a tu grampa como el llorón, a una gente necesitada, también es buena ayudarle cuando puede. Esas son cosas.
And she would also tell the youth to help each other out and their neighbors and stuff, and to not have any fights between each other. And she herself gives advice to her grandchildren and children.
And she thinks that advice is more important than money.
And she herself thinks that advice is more important than money.
What were the different remedios used?
¿Qué remedios usaban más antes? Para las enfermedades o
Chá,
chá.
hierbabuena, mastranzo, ahora hay mucho en las sequías que no. Ya ni eso pude yo las sequías por hierbabuena. Es muy bueno, hay muchos remedios, pero ya no van a usar los remedios, dan más el doctor y...
She says back then they did used to use remedios, and they used to get them by the acequias, the ditches, and
el doctor,
and now people just kind of rely on doctors. Yes.
Bueno, la necesidad puede ayudarle, el doctor puede ayudar más que uno porque ya no hay médicas que había antes.
Sí.
Pero pueden ser buenos si Dios quiere. Que queriendo Dios tiene que ser bueno Dios, pero no sé.
¿Usted ha ido a doctores, usted? ¿Le gusta ir a los doctores?
No. Bueno, una vez fui a los resfríos, y luego que me sacaron.
¿No les gusta ir a los doctores a usted?
Sí me gusta, pero no sé, no he sido muy enferma, yo quizás. Pueda que cuando me muera, antes de morirme, vayan, bueno, son buenos porque Ellos saben, están educados, ¿ves? Pueden saber, pero a veces si Dios no quiere, santos no pueden, como decían antes.
Ah, ya te lo he dicho, ¿ves?
Si Dios no quiere, santos no pueden, pero o creen, yo creo, no sé qué será.
See, she says that doctors are good today because they're educated and stuff. But if God doesn't want a person to be healed or good, it won't happen. If it's not according to God's will. And if God can't, neither can the saints, right?
She says there was really no doctors here, but there was a dentist that she was scared to go to because he was a real mean person, I guess.
En esta foto que tenemos aquí está la señora esta con su hermana. ¿Nos puede encontrar unas historias de ella?
Hermana. La que vive aquí.
¿Su hermana esta es su grandma de Gwen?
Ya, esta, la Sofía. No, so.
Esta foto nos dice la señora que esta es su hermana, su grandma de Gwen, y ella vive aquí en Trampas también. Todavía está viva.
In that picture, it was a picture of...
Muy bien, el burqueque.
Sí, le gusta viajar.
Yeah.
It's a picture of my grandma Sofia Lopez, her sister. She lives here in Las Trampas also.
That is Virginia when she was a small little girl.
Did you gather like wild herbs like ocha from that aren't there no more? Did you gather herbs from the mountain?
¿Qué?
Usted cuando estaba juntaba usted ocha, orégano, cosas, quelites, aquí en arriba en el monte, usted las juntaba.
Ocha.
Sí.
Sí, ocha.
Y todavía hay.
Todavía aquí abajo la
Abajo la sequía hay.
Ocha.
She would gather ocha and everything, and she says that it's still down there by the ditch. There's some ocha growing.
Was that common knowledge among the people to use those remedies and?
Oh yes, oh yes. It was very common. They used to ask in Spanish, ¿qué será bueno para esto? ¿Qué será bueno para esto? What's good for this? What's good for that? And so on. And then, and a lot of people, curanderas, you've heard that word before, they knew very bit about medicine, about local, about hierbas, different kinds of herbs that they found up in the mountains and so on. They would collect them and dry them and so on. And they know how to use them. And evidently they were quite effective because they did a lot of good to the local people. But that was it.
Yeah.
But they had a lot of remedios at the house though, right?
Yeah, they used to have a lot of remedies. Yeah.
And like another question is like, did you guys used to like gather herbs and stuff like that? Like you used to go out to the mountains?
A lot of them, yeah.
Like what would you get? What were some of the things?
Ocha, esta maravilla, hierve la golondrina y ¿cómo era el otro? Pagué.
And used all those were for remedios?
Yeah.
What do you think is the best remedio there is?
Pues todos eran buenos.
Just depends for what's wrong.
Depende que para cuál enfermedad los agarraba. Yeah.
How did you know which remedy?
Because road people used to tell us que eran, ¿ves? When we used to go to get some wood in los carros, los caballos.
They used to tell you what was the good one and which ones weren't.
Are the foods different now than they were back then?
Oh yeah. See, we never used to buy food from the stores. That's what we raised. That's what was raised in the farm.
And what kinds of foods do you like now?
Yeah, I have to take what there is. And that vegetables.
Yeah, good vegetables. And did you make chicos in your horno?
Chicos, yeah. I used to make chicos, not now, I don't.
No more. What kind of things brought you guys from the past? How did you guys work together?
¿Cómo trabajaban juntos ustedes más antes?
¿Cómo trabajaban?
Juntos, sí.
Se juntaban a cerrar alfarba, a cortar trigo y todo eso. Se ayudaban mucho uno al otro.
Más antes.
Cuando estaban cosechando.
Yeah. They would help each other cut alfalfa together. They would all do it together with their gardens and everything.
How do you think things have changed towards the planting and everything? Do you think things are still the same?
Ah, no, y ahora no sembramos nada.
Todos compran todo de la tienda.
Sí.
Nowadays, people don't have the need to farm because they could go to the store and they could get everything they need at the store. So farming is not a part of life like it used to be.
What hopes do you have for like the young kids today, like the teenagers?
What hopes? Que sean buenos muchachos y muchachas y que atiendan a las escuelas, porque hoy en día está muy bien que todos atiendan la escuela y que hagan la high school y pueden seguir adelante.
She hopes that every kid graduates from high school and will continue their education from there because education is very important nowadays.
If you had one thing to say to the young people here, what would you say?
Que sean todas buenas muchachas y buenos muchachos y buenos jóvenes en lo adelante del futuro.
That she just hopes we all be good boys and girls from now until forever.
How has electricity and TVs and inside plumbing, how has it affected your life? Did you like it better then, or?
No, it's better now. You just have to turn the button and there you have.
What did you guys do before you didn't have that stuff?
We had a wooden stove to do the cooking. And we used to wash the clothes in a tub and con el lavadero.
Yeah.
Tenían que calentar el agua.
They would have to heat the water.
Yeah.
How do you think TV has affected the community and your family?
It has affected a lot because we don't visit not even our relatives.
Yeah.
We just stay watching TV and we talk on the phone, but that's all.
Yeah.
But not visit like before. Before we used to go visit our neighbors or relatives.
The community was closer when the TV wasn't even there.
And now with the TV, sometimes you ask a person, what are you doing? I'm watching TV.
And before there was TV, I bet you there was a lot more gatherings in the community.
Yeah.
What would you guys do for those?
Just talk and play. Play that, what do you used to call that? Play Monopoly?
Oh yeah, Monopoly.
Había un juego con el sueco, ¿ve? Y acordamos, eran como 10 de cada lado, uno para un rumbo, otros para otro, ¿ve? Para correr la bola, hasta que llegábamos a donde ya se acababa el camino, ¿ve? Pero entonces no había muchas ventanas, entonces, ¿sí? De modo que jugábamos casi los domingos, los sábados, jugábamos esos juegos. ¿Ya?
He says that they would play games over here, that they would kick the ball, 10 on each team. They would kick the ball to the end of the road, and I guess that's the way they just played.
Do they listen to music?
¿Escuchaban ustedes, ¿escuchaban ustedes la música?
Oh,
Sí.
entonces había músicos de violín y guitarra, ¿ves?
Sí.
Todavía, ahorita, esta mañana me vinieron a dar los días a mí.
Sí.
Sí, vinieron unos músicos, violín y guitarra, y me dieron los buenos días.
¿De dónde eran ellos?
De aquí, Truchas.
De aquí.
Sí. Sí.
He says that they would listen to music with people that were here and they would play the violin and stuff like that. And he says that just this morning there was some people that came over here and sang for him for his birthday.
What's his favorite kind of music?
¿Qué es la música favorita de usted?
Pues entonces esa era el violín y guitarra.
Sí.
Porque tuve un yerno que mi papá tenía yernos y eran músicos casi todos. Mi papá tocaba la guitarra, el violín, la flauta. Mis cuñados también tocaban violín y guitarra.
Sí.
Yeah.
He says that
Cuando estábamos aquí, cuando se juntaban aquí, venía gente que a bailar.
Sí.
Yeah.
Yeah. He says that his favorite music was just the violins and the guitar that his father would play. And they would just come and have fun.
Y compré mi primer carro en el 26, 1926.
Sí.
Entonces compré mi primer carro. No había más de 2 carros aquí, los hombres de las tiendas. Y yo traje un carro también para acá, pero
sí.
El día que lo compré, me quedaron 5 pesos nomás en la bolsa. Pero con el changue a gasolina.
Sí.
Y luego algunos amigos me echaban gasolina para pasearme.
Sí.
Pues entonces no había carro, ¿no? Yo llevaba músicos, llevaba abogados, parteras y después.
Sí.
Les llevaba yo, tenía aquí. ¿Ya?
He says that he bought his first car in 1926 and that he stayed with $5 in his pocket and he came down and he would use that for gas and all of his other friends would help him with gas and they'd cruise around over here and he was also like a taxi man, I guess. He would just go around with, he said lawyers take him around
and midwives. Midwives.
And midwives.
And he used to take them to weddings.
And he used to take him also to weddings.
To the musicians.
El que tenía carro. ¿Sabes? Aquí también. Yo fui el primero que compré un tractor.
Sí.
Aquí el Truchas. Era un con mediano. Y no, pues me iba a trabajar. Cuando me lo enseñaron, estaba ya la tierra suelta.
Sí.
Y luego, pues, yo que quería también trabajar así, no servía.
He says that he bought the first tractor here in Truchas and that when they showed him how to work it over there, the dirt was already loose. And when he brought it over here, it just didn't want to work because the dirt was too hard.
Does he have any advice for the youth?
¿Tiene usted aviso a los
consejos
a los niños de ahora?
Sí, les puedo aconsejar a algunos, pero algunos no entienden español.
Sí.
¿Qué consejo?
¿Qué consejo tiene usted? ¿Qué consejos les tienen a los niños?
El que fueran a la escuela y se evitaran de hacer mal, entonces no era tanto como ahora.
Sí.
Había un poquito más respeto entonces. Y ahora no hay respeto para los gente mayores.
Sí.
Yeah?
He says that he would tell them, give them advice, but he won't because most of the youth don't know Spanish, and that
the advice he does have.
And the advice that he does have is go to school and get their education.
Are young people different from what they were back then?
Oh yeah, that's a lot of difference now. Now they don't have no respect, they don't obey us like as we did, as with one word, or just with the sign of the eyes if they were company. They just look at us and we knew what they meant for us to keep quiet. Not now. I see a lot of difference.
Were your parents strict with you?
Oh yeah, we were very strict working. We didn't raise with shows like they do now. They were very strict working.
What kind of work did you guys do?
Gardening work, field work.
What kinds of food did you grow in your garden?
We plant vegetables, all kinds of vegetables. Even herbs. We used to plant herbs. Well, my dad used to plant them. As we used to hoe them or irrigate them. The boys used to irrigate it as we used to hoe it.
She wants to know, where did you get your furniture? Did you make your furniture, or was there somebody in the pueblo that made the furniture?
We didn't have furniture.
You didn't have much.
We didn't have much furniture then. We used to sleep on the floor, roll our beds up in the morning, and at night unroll them and sleep on sheepskin. We didn't have furniture like now.
How about your clothes? Did you make your clothes?
Yeah, my mother used to make our clothes. We never bought clothes from the store. Buy material and make them.
How many languages do you know?
I know 4 languages. But my own language was San Juan. And I learned Spanish and English. And now I learn Picuris language, so I know 4 languages.
Can you say something in Picuris language for us? And what does that mean?
How are you?
How is life without electricity?
¿Cómo era la vida sin electricidad antes, en los tiempos de antes? La vida sin electricidad, sin luces, y nada.
No, era diferente ahora.
Yeah. ¿Era más fun antes o le gusta mejor ahora?
Era más. Ahora no usaba encadenada la plebe.
Ya. So le gustaba mejor antes, sin luces.
Más antes sabían todo, ¿no?
Yeah. She liked it better before, when there was no lights, and because everybody come and visit each other.
Enseñaban a hacer las cosas.
Mejor. They would show each other to do the things better.
Yeah.
Did they do much hunting and fishing for food?
Que si ustedes iban a cazar o iban a la trucha mucho para comer, como a la cazada del venado, lelque.
No, yo el que me dedicaba era el ir a, todavía de viejo ahora después, a pescar trucha. Pero venado nunca me gustó.
He said he never liked hunting, but he did go fishing, and he has gone pretty recently also. Now that at his age, he still likes to fish.
And stuff did you do to bring the community together? Like, did you have parties or picnics or stuff?
Well, most of it then was, that was during the Depression, most of it, when I was about 15, 16, 17. And we usually met on a highway bridge till they run us off, then we'd go to another one.
What would you do? Just dance and stuff?
Yeah, we just dance, and some of the people that lived up and down the river could hear us down there, and here they'd come, and we'd take cornmeal and throw all over the bridge, which the highway department didn't like, so you could dance on it. And then a lot of them worked for the highway would slip off and be with us, but they skipped out when the highway started coming down.
That's neat.
We had to change a lot. Even over here now, from the time that I first came here to the Pueblo to now, it's all changed. That's changed too.
And how was it before there was no electricity? How was it before there was no electricity?
It was nice. Indian dances, social dances. We used to have a lot of social dances, but now all that is forgotten.
¿Tenía amigos del pueblo usted?
Amigas, muchas amigas, pero ya están muertas las amigas. Ahí está una de las que inventaron, mi amiga, la
Sylvianita. ¿Sylvianita?
Sylvianita.
Sí.
Pues casi todas las conozco bien, pero amigas nomás algunas. Los Bermejos, los muchachos del... ¿Cómo se llama? ¿Cuál es el nombre de los Bermejos, oye? Lore.
No puedo acordarme ahora.
La mamá y el papá de los...
La reyesita.
Juan era Green. Y el otro era el que se mató.
Oh, ya.
Estábamos con las grandmas.
Ajá.
Con las hermanas, ahí estaban ellos.
Cuando estaba de grandma con las hermanas. Cuando estaban de grandmas con las hermanas. No me puedo acordar su nombre. Pero las reyesitas. Las reyes.
Las reyesitas. No. De esas eran. Pero los Bermejos, estos son de los Bermejos. Y uno se manda. Y el otro viene ahí seguido a la tienda y me habla James. Estaban con las hermanas, el último año de las hermanas. Y fuimos de grama a ayudarles.
She used to work for the schools as a grandma. It was about 15, 20 years
y muy
ago.
buenas, los llevamos con muy buenos vecinos, los que conocían, las amigas de Picuris. Que las conozco.
She does have plenty of friends in the pueblo. Most of them have died. She was also a grandma at the schools.
You seen any wars in your lifetime, and have they affected you?
Recibido guerras en sus tiempos y la afectaron.
¿Guerras? ¿Guerra del gobierno? Yo me acuerdo muy poquito, pero en una estuvimos nosotros que hubo mucho hambre porque no teníamos que comer. No. Estaba mediana.
I don't think she understood.
Pero era hasta de azúcar. Ahora nos han dado muy buena comida. Pero de antes no, eran los pobres toda la gente. No. ¿Quién sabe qué sería? Y unos tienen y otros no. Y no se hace falta el dinero. Si trabajas, comes. Y si no trabajas, no comes. ¿Y usted?
In those days, if you worked, you ate, and if you didn't work, you didn't eat. And there was a government had a war, and in those times that it was hard to get food, and a lot of people were hungry.
How many wars have you seen in your lifetime?
¿Qué tantas guerras ha visto usted en su temporada de su vida?
¿Qué tantas qué?
Guerras, como la Guerra Mundial.
Pues no sé, o a la segunda fui.
¿Usted fue a la segunda?
Sí. En el 42.
In 1942, he says he went to he was in World War II, but he's not really up to date on how many wars he's seen throughout his lifetime.
How did that war affect your life?
¿Cómo le afectó la vida o le cambió la vida esa guerra a usted?
Pues se sentía uno contento y hasta lo queriendo.
¿Y qué era lo que hacía usted en la guerra?
Estaban ingenieros, engineers. Yeah.
He says he was an engineer, and that the way the war changed his life is that he was proud of going to serve his country, but he was forced to do it.
There's no fun in war.
No.
When you heard is whenever an airplane falls and everybody on it you knew, then you have to pick them up, and they're burnt and all that, and it don't hurt you till you turn them over and you recognize them. Then that's when it hurts. But on an air base, you can't expect every airplane to come back. And
how about your wife? Did you have to leave your wife to go to the war?
yes,
Yeah. Was that hard on her?
yeah,
Yeah.
it was very hard. But you leave everybody, you leave your family and all.
Mm-hmm.
Over there, if you saw somebody you knew, you'd run 10 blocks to say hello to them.
Yeah, just to bring it home.
Yeah, somebody from your hometown was wonderful to see.
Mm.
And
Sure. Do you get real homesick over there?
yes, you stand at the beach and try to look across the Atlantic. And
England, when you got there, was it like really different from where you were?
The words wasn't even the same. English has different words altogether.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it hard for you to get around and understand people?
I couldn't take that good night love from men all the time. That was, where is that English girl? An idea?
Sí, ¿cómo era la cosa aquí, o el modo de vivir aquí cuando usted tenía, todavía joven, que tenía como los 18 años?
Como a los 18 años.
18, de 15 a 18.
Pues la pasaba descargando, como leí ahorita. Ese era el modo de vivir. Yo le ayudaba a mi mamá, porque yo quedé huérfano de 9 años y ella tuvo cuidado de mí. Y yo le ayudaba a ella y ella tuvo cuidado hasta que ya pude salir al trabajo. Ya cuando salí al trabajo fui a Gilman, Colorado. Y ahí fue mi primera salida cuando tenía yo los 18.
He believes that when he was a teenager, he spent most of his time helping his mom because his father died when he was 9 years old. So basically he was the man of the family, so he had to help his mom. When he was 18, he was able to travel and get out of the community and get his first job up in Colorado. But as for his life as a teenager, he was working the land.
Young people like my generation, how do you feel about them? Do you think they're going the wrong way, or do you think they're doing all right?
No, they're doing all right. There's not near as many bad people that we pretend they are. We just hear it too often.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, you never heard it. You might read it in the paper 2 years after it happened, but now, all over the world, you know about it in a few minutes.
Yeah.
And then you didn't. There's a lot of good kids in this world. They're not all bad just because you hear it every day.
Un consejo para ver cómo puedo caminar de aquí para allá.
¿Un consejo?
Sí.
Diga.
Un consejo, digo yo, a ver cómo que me digan ustedes para poder caminar de aquí para adelante. Digo.
He's asking for advice from you guys to see how he can go forward with his life. No, he believes that not only the elders should give consejos, but that the young people should also give the elders consejos. So he's asking for a consejo from you guys now.
As I get older, it seems like just age is the state of mind, and more than anything. So if you think you're young, I think it probably helps.
Dice que el consejo que le deja, que él cree que la edad está en la cabeza, en la mente, ¿no? Y que si usted se siente que está joven, eso es lo que cuenta. Respeto,
No, era un poco más diferente, ahora está poco trabajoso para todos los padres de familia, en fin.
He believes that respect has changed, that things are a little bit more difficult in today's world for parents, and he does say that it has changed during his lifetime.
Estos jóvenes de aquí, de ahora, no bueno.
¿No trabajan o qué?
No saben trabajar. Tú esperar que le den.
Nowadays kids don't have to work because everything's just given to them, and they don't know how to work. But back then they did. Kids are a lot lazier now than they were.
Yeah. Ahora vas tú y le dices a un muchito, do me this or do me that. And says, how much you gonna pay me?
You said before you like to dance. What kind of music did you like to dance?
Oh, I like to dance Spanish music. English too. Sometimes they used to invite me to go, so I go.
Did you always like to dance since you were in high school, or well, not high school, but when
Since
you
I
were...
was 14 years old. They used to send us to the store, me and my other sister, and they made some dances and Sundays. And we used to go to the dance over there. Then we came back, we get the coffee, and said, my daddy said, why you stay so long? And he says, oh, we stay so long because that there were a lot of people in the store.
That's because you would go out dancing, huh?
Yeah, we used to have a lot of fun.
Antes que no tenía más, antes que no estaba enfermo, no había nadie que me quitara la bailada.
When he was younger, nobody could take him off the dance floor.
La polka, el cotillo. Y ahora no va una a bailar el cotillo. Un joven no sabe cómo se baila.
No, no.
Now his favorite dance was the polka, and nobody could do that anymore.
Bueno, bailar una polka, no saben cómo se baila.
Yeah, today people don't know how to dance anymore.
Yo sí sé.
She still knows how.
How did you meet your wife?
Rather interesting. I met my wife in a dance.
What hopes do you have for young people of today?
What?
What hopes do you have for young people of today?
Excuse me.
Okay, yeah. Like hopes for the young people, the younger generations?
Oh. Well, today there are so many offerings that I think that the young people today don't get educated because they don't want to. And talk about science. Talk about culture, about learning about the cultures of other people, of the world, and so on. Talk about mathematics, or art, for example. There's so much to offer that the young people today, they're intelligent enough to take advantage of what's being offered. There's no limit. Now take communication. There's no limit to it. Take the computer systems as they're being developed now, and it's just the beginning.
Have you traveled ever in your life? Have you traveled out of the state?
Oh yeah.
You said Arizona. Is there anywhere else?
I went to, well, my sister and me, we went to Butte, Montana. We went in an airplane. The first and the only time.
Was it scary?
I don't like airplanes.
At least you got free peanuts. At least you got free peanuts.
And
How have the relationships between men and women changed during your lifetime?
¿Qué piensa usted que ha cambiado el vivir de la gente ahora entre de hombre y mujer a sus tiempos de usted?
Pues ha cambiado todo. A los tiempos míos no había tal cosa.
¿Tal cosa como qué?
Porque pues ahora tiene uno que confesarse con toda la gente y más antes no. Se escondía uno, ahora no. Ahora todo está a la vista. Viene un muchacho aquí que se subió en el carro, ahí vamos. Todo. Viene otro, ahí vamos. Y más antes no. Aquí te tenían, mira. No, no se parece.
Okay, a long time ago you would find a person and you would be down with that person, but now it's like the people, they see someone going and they cruise with them and they go with them, but then they see someone else and then they go with them, so there's like no loyalty between partners anymore, between men and women anymore. They go with everybody.
What hopes do you have for the youth today?
Cambiar.
¿Qué quiere usted para los chicos de ahora?
Los chicos de ahora. No, ahora no. No, algunos no tienen, ya te digo. No respetan a la gente.
She just says that they don't respect her.
Y esto está bien. Yo les digo que no sean, no le creo. Que respeten a la gente. Yeah.
She says for the kids not to be naughty and to respect their elders. That's what she has to say.
Who was your dad?
His name was Juan de Jesus Romero, but they just called him JJ. JJ Romero.
And what did he do?
He was, well, he had this post office here in a little store, but then he ran for a representative, no?
Representative?
Yeah. And I guess that was in 1928 or 29. And he had to move to Santa Fe. They lived up there for the time he was in. And I had to take care of the post office and the store.
Oh, so while they were all working over there, you were having to take care of everything over here?
Yeah.
Do you have any advice for the youth?
For the youth?
Yeah.
Well, I guess. Keep out of drugs.
Yeah.
Keep out of bad company.
Yeah.
For their own good. So don't you never get near drugs. You destroy yourself and your family.
There was an old man. One of the old men used to tell us that everything was going to change. The Indian way was going to change pretty fast, and that us Indian, we will do what they were carrying it out when before, and it was going to change pretty much. First of all, the white people were going to take us our language, which right now we are talking nothing but English language. We don't talk too much Hindi anymore. I'm not very much in preaching or in teaching. But anyway, I can say that as I said before, at this pueblo, everything was all gone. So a lot of our young people, they don't want to do nothing. Our youth that are going to school, I would like to urge the younger one, the younger students that are graduating to use their graduation to help the public and to help over here and tell us what is what. Because everything now is done by paperwork. All of it, everything. It goes on the officer, the governor, is all done by paperwork. And too much changing every year. Too much changing every year. One thing, they tell us to do this, and the next thing, you know, it's changing. Changing too much. It's what this pueblo needs a lot of students, high grade students, so they can comply or complete with the work that they have to do. Because just like the changing over here, too much changing going on before we get settled with what's gonna be.
What advice do you have for young people?
For people?
Young people.
Well, like I indicated before, I would urge them to take advantage of the opportunities that are being offered to them. That's the important thing. Because time doesn't wait for anyone. Either they make use of it now or they don't. And the world has so much to offer for the people who are go-getters. And of course, you have to be prepared. You have to be trained, because you can't get good employment if you are not prepared for it. But one advice that I have particularly is my people, the Spanish-speaking people, to respect their culture. That I would advise very definitely. If you are of Spanish descent, respect it. Something that really hurts me is this, that sometimes I talk to some of the young people today, and I know that they are of Spanish descent. I try to speak to them in Spanish, and they don't understand me. They say, "What did you say? I don't understand you." And that really hurts me. Because they should respect their culture. They should respect their language.
And I want to thank you very much for coming over. It was very nice for making this video, and we are very proud of you, and we want to thank you all for coming over.
you're welcome. But on the same hand, we'd like to thank you for talking to us and taking that time out of your schedule to, inviting us over and letting us come and do that.
Genoho.
Genoho. The good spirit will take care of wherever you are. Give it for the rest.
Life is a dream, and dreams are dreams.